Hello everyone. We are a few minutes behind here, just getting started. We're a few minutes behind in getting started. I'll just update on my end here and see if everything is live, which it is, but I accidentally shut it off so I can't see your guys' comments. So I will just take a second to get that loaded. And hopefully that will give a few of you guys a chance to hop on. If you are here, let me know. Just comment to let me know you're here and that the orientation is facing the right way. And I will get this all loaded up here. I don't know why it never wants to load for me once I get on here. There we go. Started. Just need to turn the volume way down. Okay, so let me know if you are here. And hopefully it is showing up all in the right spot for you guys. You know what? I should just make sure that yes, we are in the right spot and not on my personal page, because I have done that before once. I'm just going to scoot this over a little bit. Excuse my moving it while you guys are watching. I thought I had it all lined up beforehand. Hi Tammy, how are you? And I'm a little crooked. I'm making it worse. I'm giving you guys a wonky view here. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll give the iPad just a second to catch up to my view. It's a little leggy. Compared to what it takes a minute before I can actually see on the screen on Facebook what I see right in front of me, so it's still a little crooked, and that just won't do. It is awkward to look at, so I'll just move the mat and then that'll be a little easier. Hi Shirley. Hi Rhonda. I don't know if I've ever had anyone. Well, maybe. Diana might have watched me from Phoenix once before. I can't remember. But welcome from Phoenix. That's fun. And welcome to, I think Shirley's from Ontario, and we have Tammy. So we've got a few different areas covered, and Linda. Okay, so I will make this card today. If anyone's interested in doing the technique along with me, I'll just give you guys a little breakdown of some supplies, and then I'll do some housekeeping before I actually create. So I'm going to be using blends. So I have a few different colors. I've got Misty Moonlight, Highland Heather, Balmy Blue, and Smoky Slate. That's what I'm going to use. And then some 90% rubbing alcohol. So the 70%, some people have said will work, but it doesn't work quite as nicely. Hi, Linda. And so, I think somebody might be using a different device here. Anyhow, so the 70%, some people have said they can get it to work, but the 90% works more efficiently. So just to save frustration, that is what I would recommend. So 90% rubbing alcohol if you are using some. I've just got it in a dish here. And then I have an aqua painter, but you can use other tools as well. If you have a paintbrush, that will work. If you have a little medicine dropper, that will also work. And you can grab a straw or a heat gun, or you can just let it dry on its own. So you don't need all the fancy tools. Those are just the things that I tend to use. So if you want to do some with me, just grab those supplies and vellum. Grab some vellum. You need to have a non-porous surface for this technique. All right, and I actually am doing this with my stamp club as well this month. So I think you guys probably saw the card. I should have grabbed it, that I am making with them. And you know what? I don't have it handy, but it's the one that I posted the other day. And if I can find it, I will share it with you. but it might be tucked away somewhere or being prepped by some helpers at the moment. So I don't have it right here to show you guys, but anyhow, I'm going to make this one, and I'll do that in just a moment. So first, before we get into that, there are some promotions I want to tell you guys about, and I can recap these at the end if anybody needs me to as well. But the biggest one for today is there is free shipping today only. So this will last until midnight Mountain Time. So if you're here on Central Time like I am, that is 1 a.m. So you can take advantage of free shipping right up until then. Hi, Candaisy. Candaisy actually is the one that got me to show her how to do this technique after we were all done our classes with our Stampin' retreat on the weekend. And I love the piece so much. I just grabbed these colors on a whim to show her how to do the technique. And then I made the polar bears card that I shared. And then that just turned into other things. So I've been having fun with this color combo and this technique with Vellum. So anyhow, sorry for the distraction. But free shipping lasts today only. And of course you can combine that with the last chance list, the last chance sale, and then because of the free shipping, I have also altered my class prices for those who register today, because I will be able to get the product for you with the discounted shipping. So I wanted to pass that savings along to those of you who are taking the class. So there is still a bit of time to get in on the polar bears class. I will probably do one more order tonight that I will rush. I will not pass on the charges for the rushed shipping. I'll just cover that. So your shipping will still be free. So we'll be making these 3 cards. One of you has won this card here from my last draw. So that's one of the cards we're making. We are also doing the Northern Lights card. I really should have had these handy. I will review these cards at the end. So I will gather them up to be able to show you guys. But the Northern Lights card and then this card here. This is a case of one that was in the catalog. So I just switched it up a little bit and then pulled in a different technique that I'll be showing everybody how to do here. So it's $30 if you just need the card kit. It is $55 if you just need the stamp. It just came off back order today, so we can now order it, or maybe yesterday, but anyways, we can now order the stamp set, and then the dies and stamp option is $75. I also have Delivering Cheer. That class is, oh, sorry, I didn't tell you the date for the polar bears. The date for the polar bears is Wednesday, the 15th of December. So in 1 week from today. And then Thursday, December 16th is my Delivering Cheer class. Again, I'll have to find these samples. Why I tucked them away, I don't know. That one is $30 if you just need the supplies, or $50, which includes the stamp, or it is free with a $75 order. And you would need to have the stamp in order to stamp these, of course, because we can't stamp them for you. So that's that option there. And then Sparkle to Season. This one would be super short notice for you because it is on Friday. But I will show you the cards that are included. And we are actually still making some kits up. So if somebody local wants to take this, or if you want a kit in the mail that you want to do them later, we can make one up and send it off to you, and you can still create those on your own later. But they include this card here, which is on the flyer. I had shared this one the other day. So we make 2 of each card, 3 different styles and 2 of each card. So this one here, which I called Farmhouse Christmas. And then this second one here, it will be 1 each of 2 colors. So it'll be these 2 versions here, and I'm totally missing the comments. So I will catch up on those once I sit down to make the card with you guys. So these 2 versions of this one card is the second card. So participants will do one with the darker wood grain and one with the white wood grain. So that is card number 2. And then card number 3 is this gatefold Merry Christmas with the peppermint candies from the gingerbread and peppermint suite. So those are the 3 cards for this Friday's class. And again, that can be done later if you just want the kit as well. And the options for that, sorry, $30 class fee, $50 with the dies, though the dies actually are now sold out. So I can't get the dies, but you can still get the stamp set to stamp the Merry Christmas. And with class kits, I've already done all the die cutting for participants, so you don't actually need the dies at your own end because all of those pieces will be done for you. And then it says $70 with the bundle. You can sub out the product if you wanted to take advantage of that option and just choose something in place of the dies. The Bright Baubles class is Tuesday, December 21st. And again, $30 class fee if you just need the kit, $50 with the stamp set, or $82 with the bundle, and then $70 if you just need the dies. These prices reflect the no shipping today, so each price goes up slightly, but these flyers are on my page as well. And you can just ask me questions if you're interested in any of those. This one here is the version that my stamp club will do. So again, I'll try to find the actual card, but this is the one they're going to get to do, and it's the same technique. But just the card is a little more stepped up, and it's actually a gift card holder on the inside. So if you're interested in doing Stamp Club with us, with a $40 order, you will get to make this card here and this one here. So we are making 2 different cards, and then I make them a card, and they might be getting a little bonus this month as well. So that's that one, and it is on Monday, the 20th of December. And the Baubles is Tuesday the 21st. I accidentally told you guys about that one out of chronological order. And then I have one class between Christmas and New Year's, which is the Peaceful Cabin class. And that one, option 1, is $40 for the class fee if the DSP comes off of back order, because it will then include half a package of DSP. Option 2 is $60 with the stamp set and half a package of DSP. And option 3 is $95 with the bundle and half a package of DSP. So prices will just be altered if I can't get that DSP. Hopefully it will come back. It is supposed to come back next week, so my fingers are crossed that that happens. All right, so we'll jump into the card now. Sorry for making you guys wait through all of my housekeeping there, but I wanted to make sure that you guys all knew what was up with my upcoming classes. And also with that free shipping, I do have a promotion. If you place a $65 order using this host code, then I don't think you can see it, so I'll just have to bring that in closer later. You will qualify for a free gift, and if you use this host code and place a $100 order, you will get to take part in my free class, my appreciation class that will be in January. And it does actually look like it is showing up on Facebook, just not in my view. All right, hi everyone who's here. Sorry I haven't kept up with your comments, but it's nice to see so many of you here. And you grew up in Michigan, Rhonda. I have never been, but I would like to go. There are people and places there that I would like to see. So you guys have heard me tell you before that this mat here has a matte finish on it so that you don't get the glare from my lights. I won't keep this one here for the whole video, but I do need this one here, which has a glossy finish for this technique that we're going to do. So I'm just going to tape it in place temporarily so it doesn't slide all over on me while I'm doing this technique for you guys. You've probably seen this technique as well, but it's always fun to do it again. And if I didn't show this one, I found that one here. This is the polar bear one, and this is the piece that I did for Candace the other day that I loved so much with this color combo. I'll bring it a little closer so you guys can see it. It has the painted texture folder there, and these little snowflakes from the knit sweater dies. And I love this 'Tis the Season from, I think it's Christmas to Remember. I've used this little stamp on so many projects this season. Okay, so I have a thick white card base, and I'm actually going to make 2 of these. So the deal is, if you share this video and comment, please make sure you comment to tell me that you shared, because if you don't comment to tell me that you shared, I may not be able to see that you have, so you won't get entered in the draw. But I actually will make 2 of these cards, so I will draw 2 winners. So if you share my video and come back and comment on this one to tell me that you have shared, then I will enter you guys in the draw to receive one of these in the mail. And because it's a card, Rhonda, I actually can mail a card. I can't send product to the US. when it's a product-based prize, but I can send a card. So US participants can share this, or US viewers can share to win that. So we have a card base that is 4 1/4 by 11. And then I have a card layer that is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of vellum, and I think it's 3 1/4 by 4. This does not have to be exact. I just did this piece large enough that I could do 2 of the window here. And then I was actually sorting my paper the other day because it has gotten out of control in terms of what paper is where and how much I have left and which things do I need to order before they are gone. You guys know I love the cork paper. And while I was sorting, it dawned on me that this die cut would be really pretty with this black glitter paper. So I decided to give it a try. I'm just popping out the negative pieces from this before we get going. It does cut really nice, this black glitter paper with these thinlits. It cuts through them really well, I find. So even with all this detail in those, in between the feet, you still get a really nice clean cut. So, okay. I'll just make one on video, but I do have the supplies to make 2, and I will draw 2 winners. All right, so I'm just going to move these supplies out of the way. I don't need those just yet, but I want my vellum handy. So again, I have Misty Moonlight and Highland Heather and Balmy Blue and Smoky Slate. And when I did this for this piece here, I didn't use both light and dark. I just used dark of all of the colors, but I wasn't sure I wanted it that dark behind here, so I actually used a little bit of both light and dark. So we'll go with that for today. I have one blend that doesn't have very much color left in it, so on the brush tip, so I just had to check which one it was. Okay, so I've got my vellum here. Hopefully, yeah, you guys can see that. Hi, Kathleen. And just catching up with comments there. All right, so I'm going to color this whole thing at once, but again, it's enough to do 2 of these. So if you don't work that way, that you need to work with just the piece that you have there, you can always cut your piece down to size first. But while you're doing the technique, it's always fun to do a larger piece, and then you can get more than one project. This one here, I've actually made a few different projects with smaller pieces of vellum, and they were all cut from one 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece that was similar size to this. So I just did one piece and then cut it down. You could even do a whole sheet if you wanted to do that, like an 8 1/2 by 11, and kind of get like the one sheet wonder type of effect. Is everything fine on your guys' end? It's not freezing, is it? Hopefully it's all good. It froze on my end for a second, so just want to make sure it's all right for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to take the brush tip of the blends and just scribble on there. So we're just going to randomly create swatches of color. And I have to keep in mind that half of this is going to be for one. So I want to make sure that there is a little bit of each color on each half. I don't want all of the purple to be just on one half of this piece of paper because I'm cutting it down. So just be mindful of that if you are doing a larger piece. And then cutting it into multiples. Whoops, wrong end. Make sure you've got the brush tip. That bullet tip is not going to go very far. How many of you guys have tried this before? Anyone? Now, one thing I want to point out, you saw me just go over the corner there. I try to not, I didn't be careful while I just went over that. So what I try to remind myself to do is to be careful when going over the edges, not to drag back and forth with that brush tip so that it doesn't damage it. So I try to just go in one direction away from the center and off the edge so that I'm not dragging it back over the corner or the edge and catching it. I just don't want to damage the tips too much. it would be interesting to know which methods use your blends up the fastest. Okay, so I'm going to add some more gray back in here because I don't have a lot of gray on this. And I know that I'll be cutting that in half. I try to not go over top of the colors either, so most of them are not touching. They may end up a little bit. And if that happens, then I try to just make sure that I don't have any blue left in my purple tip or something, one color left in the tip of another. Maybe add a little bit more purple. So it's not tricky. You just have to keep adding color until you have filled up your paper. Okay, so it looks like nothing fancy at this point. It just looks like a mess. So I'll move these out of the way. Now I'm going to move this while I do this next step. I just don't want to get anything on that. It doesn't usually make that big of a mess, but just in case. So now I've got my, again, 90% rubbing alcohol. And then I have, I just want to make sure there's no color in there, my aqua painter. So it does have water in the barrel, but that's not important. I'm not using this water. I'm just using the tip of the aqua painter to dip it into the rubbing alcohol. This is blends on vellum. I'm just answering a question here. So blends on vellum. I just took the brush tip and scribbled color onto there. And then in my cup, this is 90% rubbing alcohol. And I'm not using the water in here. I'm just using the tip to pick up the alcohol here. So I just let it drop all over there. You could use those medicine droppers for this. I just don't have one. I keep meaning to order some and I keep forgetting. So we actually just looked them up the other day, but this works. So I just keep shaking little bits all over until it's kind of nicely pooled. Everybody's got their own method of doing this, but this is the way that I don't mind how it turns out. And then I'll also just pick up some more and tap. And then you can see that it's kind of splattering and filling in some of those places. I'll have to come in again with bigger droplets. But while I'm tapping some of these smaller drops, I find it lets the bigger droplets move around some without pooling too much over the different colors. You want them to blend some, but I don't want them to fully blend into each other and just turn into a muddy mess. So I find this usually works. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's starting to pop up in the middle. So if there's too much alcohol pooled on there and it's dripping down because it's popping up, I just take my piercer tip and hold the paper down so that it's not pouring off the sides and not letting the ink pool and move around. So now I'm just putting some bigger blobs on there and then some smaller ones again. And by doing the bigger blobs and the smaller ones, I find that it just gives it a little bit more interest. You could see when I let that go that all that started to run. I am actually going to bring in my heat gun in a second too, and it will help dry it plus move some of it around. Or you can also just hold it in place and kind of let it dry. If you like the look and you don't want to risk that your heat gun is going to move it around more than you want, then just hold it in place and let it dry, and don't zap it with your heat gun because the heat gun will blow the color around some. And one other tip is don't stick your finger in there while it's at this point in trying to move. That's why I've got my piercer there. I did actually try to move it so that I could add a little bit more color in one section yesterday when I was making some of these. And I ended up with, it looked like an ET phone home fingerprint right in the middle of my night sky. So don't do that. I'm going to let that, no, I'm not going to let that. I just need to grab my heat gun. I am going to zap it a little bit so you guys can see. So you can see it moves it around. I find if I like where it is, like if I like where the colors have pooled, if I come from straight above, it won't move around as much. But if you come from the side, it will. See that there? It moves the color around a little bit more. And now that it's not so pooled, I can let go of that piercer. And then, so again, be careful to not put your finger in there. There we go. And that's it. So it's dry now. With the alcohol, it dries really quick. And then you've got this neat, I'll move that away from here. I'll actually put a piece of white cardstock back behind there so that you guys can see what that looks like. So it's really pretty. I think it's really pretty anyway, how it pools around like that. Okay, so now we can get on with making the card. So the technique itself is that easy. With this one here, you can see that there's more swirling in here. I did bigger pools because it was a bigger piece of paper, and then I just let it pool around a little bit more and move so that it moved that around more so than with this one being a smaller piece and knowing that I'm going to cut that in half. All right, so now we can get rid of the glossy mat so that you guys don't have that horrible glare. And I will assemble the card for you guys. So that's the main part of the technique. Hopefully you guys will hang out and watch me put it together. But if you were just here for the technique, that's how I did that. So feel free to ask any questions. I'll try to read them as I'm putting this together for you guys. Okay, so I will first put this onto my piece of vellum, and then I'm going to just use it as a guide to stamp my greeting. So just make sure I've got my things in place. Now, you could use Tombow for this. I usually use our Tear tape, but I have this other tape that is really nice and skinny that works well when I have a thin little border like this. So I'm going to use that, but I can see that this top here is a little bit crooked, so I'm just going to fix that up before I tape that down. If you guys have been with me through a live before, you know that it will bother me if I leave it. I never notice if somebody else gives me a card or a gift and it's not straight. Never do I notice. I just notice when it's my own. Are you guys like that? Okay, that's a little more even. So now I will just tape out the frame of this. Again, you could use Tombow. I'm just gonna go with this because it's warm. Oh gosh, sorry, you're gonna hear the dog bark. She has been relentless about wanting to try and sit in my lap while I'm in here. I guess that's a sign that I've been busy. She misses me. How about you guys? Do you have little critters? Did you miss the technique, Kathleen? You can always re-watch it. I will share this to my page after. So I'm going to take this here, and I'm just using this piece of paper as a guide. I like this placement here, so I'll put it up to this corner. I know that I've got more room here for the other one, so I'll tape it up to that corner, and then I'll trim around. So here's a tip. I'm not going to peel all 4 sides at once. I should have trimmed this straighter, but that's okay. I am only going to peel one side first so that I can put this in place on the vellum. That way I am not fighting with 4 sides of peeled tape and trying to get it in place. Here I can hold on to this with these 3 sides, the backing still on. That way I can line it up. Hopefully my head is not in your view. So now with this in place here, now I'll be able to reach behind here and pull those 3 sides off and just put them in place. So I'll actually just peel one more off at a time. That way it's all lined up there. And then I can reach in here and peel these off. I always regret it when I peel all 4 sides at once. I go to place it down and then sure enough, it grabs on before I'm quite ready and before I've got it lined up, and then I've got to carefully try to peel things off, and it just never works out quite right. So that's my tip for you guys. Hopefully it helps you and saves you some grief. All right, so now I'm going to just trim up these ends, and look at that, it cleaned up that crooked edge for me. And you just want to be careful with this not to cut off your glitter border unless it needs a little bit of evening out. So I've got this here. Oh, I can't wait to see what you come up with, Kathleen. You'll have to send me a picture or post it here and show me what you make. I love it when you guys case something that I've shared. That is why I share. Every time I share something, it's with like excitement and hope that somebody else will be inspired by it and feel that they can make it too. Okay, so now this one here, I'm just going to use it here as a guide. I'm not attaching this yet. So it's just placed there. Now I can, whoops, just stamp my greeting. Right below that, I am using Season's Greetings from Words of Cheer. It is retiring. If you don't have it yet, I've used this Season's Greetings so many times. And the dies, I think they're still in stock. I don't think they've sold out yet, but they're half price. And there's a little holly in there that I love. It is a perfect little holly. And these gift-giving dies, they are actually also on the, I'm just going to pull this a little closer so I can see where I'm stamping. The gift-giving dies, they are on the retiring list as well. That was Memento ink, if I didn't say so. Little cat hair. We have a cat critter too. She also wants to be right in the action these days, or always. Some of you have seen her in real life. Now, to attach this, I'm going to just use this tape again. Hi, Paulette and Lynn. It's nice to see some of you guys here. So Paulette and Lynn, you guys will get to make the other version of this with me in Stamp Club. So I'm just taping the back of the frame of this. I decided not to dimensional this one. I actually started off dimensionaling this little frame onto there, and it just didn't have the right feel. So I decided to just lay it flat. You guys are probably all shocked. Any of those of you who stamp with me, you know I love dimension. I think I've probably talked about that on all of my last videos, but I tried and it just wasn't quite right. So I peeled it off and started over. Okay, so now I've got my tape on the back, and I can see I have a little bit of vellum sticking out. So that needs to come off because we will see it once it's against the white card. So I am just going to use my snips, and I can line them right up along the edge of the glitter paper and just trim that off. There we go. Okay. So now I'll just peel these off. And again, I'm only going to peel one side first. I'll get it all lined up, and then I can put it down and then peel off the other backings. There we go. So now this side is stuck down, and that will let me just reach in here. Whoopsie. Now that went crooked. But I'm going to just heat that up and peel that off a little bit. So there's a trick for you guys. I find sometimes if I have attached something and I wasn't quite ready, if you heat up the adhesive, it will release it just a little bit, that you can gently peel it back, usually without tearing. I know Goo Gone, I think it is, also works. There we go. So now it's just peeling nicely. And And I can, oh, I gotta heat a little bit more. I have Goo Gone. I'm always just afraid because it's liquid to actually put it right onto my project. Have you guys tried it with cardstock? Like the actual front layer of your project, have you? There we go. Now I've got a little bit more leeway. I might have to redo this layer. And if I do, then there we go. There. Now I can reach in here. So if I have to redo it, I can easily pull this vellum layer off, and I know that because I had to do that yesterday when I was making something else with this same little sandwich. I just didn't like how the other one turned out, so I pulled it all apart and reused the elements. So I know it can be done. All right, sorry you had to put up with that surgery on my card surgery. All right, so now it is super easy. This card comes together really quickly. I probably even moved it too high up, but that's okay. I can always fix that again later. I just won't make you guys watch me fix it. Now I have white dimensionals, so I will attach this layer, the 4 by 5 1/4 layer, to my card base. And I apologize, my hands are all covered in ink. I was doing other inking today, and it does not just wash off very easily. So as much as we try, if you like to get inky with things, there's no having it come off immediately. I was playing with watercoloring earlier. How about you guys? Do you like watercolor techniques? I love them all. There's like so many things and not enough time in a day. I'll have to show you guys something that I was playing around with the other day. So this is just dimensional right on top of there. And then the last touch is rhinestones. So I am just using the little ones. I usually like to use some little ones and medium-sized ones, but as I was showing my Stamp Club members last month, I have an abundance of the mini ones and the large ones. So I am trying to balance that out a little bit and go out of my comfort zone and just use some of the other sizes that I have lots of. I need to find my take your pick tool as well. It has disappeared somewhere in the last couple of days. Since the last time I was live, which was on the weekend, or live on our retreat page, it has disappeared. So I think after this, I'm going to have to clean up and find it. So I just did the odd numbers, the little triangular pattern there. So you can see I've used the small ones, and I think the small ones work okay on this project. So super simple. If you have these dies, this is a quick, easy card you guys can put together. It doesn't take a lot of time. The most time involvement is probably cutting these glitter pieces and rolling them through your Big Shot. This technique doesn't even take that much time, especially if you cut a piece large enough to maybe do cut 4 out of at a time. So that is how that works. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys will give this a try. I'm excited to do this with those of you who are watching from Stamp Club. I hope you guys are excited. And you guys will have lots of samples that you can copy. You'll see this one, there's the one that we're doing in Stamp Club. And if I can finish up making stuff with the other pieces that I made, then maybe I'll even have those to share as well. I'll show you guys the workings of one. I had glued one onto this label. I was thinking that this might be neat to do something with that. Haven't decided what yet though, but I think that might be pretty on there. Maybe just a tag even, as opposed to a card. That would make a pretty gift tag. What are your guys' thoughts on this one? What should I make with this? You have to comment and tell me what you think I should make. But maybe even just a tag. It's really pretty. So I love how these colors turned out. What colors have you guys tried? I can now catch up on comments a little bit. Oh, I missed your question about the cardstock. I don't know if it's Margie or Margie, but let me know how you pronounce your name. But the cardstock here is thick white and white. Thick white for the base and then regular white for the front. But the piece that I did the technique to was Vellum. Just catching it up, or catching up here. And I said I was going to show you guys the little piece. I colored a piece of, or an image that I used this technique to do one of the polar bear cards, and I had ink left over. So I used that ink left over and colored this in here. So I'm going to have to use that technique to color something in, but it's funny how when you're making something and there's leftover pieces, it just calls out to you to do something with it. So it was the leftover ink this time that called out to me that I needed to use it up and color something in. Okay, well that's the card. So again, don't forget to share if you guys would like to. There's no pressure to share, but if you guys would like a chance to win one of these cards, you can share this video, come back and make sure that you comment again to tell me that you shared. That's the only way that I actually know that you can, just depending on your settings. Yes, Paulette, it is cardstock vellum, and I will just find it. I actually have to place the club order yet, Paulette, so if you need it added, I can still do that and get it in on the free shipping for you. I will tell you what page number it's on. So I'm just looking that up while you guys are still here. I need to get with things and give you guys a supply list while we're here. So the cardstock vellum is here on the paper basics page. It's on page 136 and it is $13.50 for 28.5 by 11 sheets. I just actually ordered more today of that because I'm down to about 1 pack and I use this all the time. I should actually show you guys another sample that I have if you guys are still here watching. There's one card I can't show you. It's from our secret tutorial. So unfortunately I can't share it, but I have something else that I can, that I want you to see how this turns out on window sheets, because you can do this on window sheets as well. This does not have to just be done on vellum, but because vellum is not as porous as regular paper, it will work, but it will also work on window sheets. So this is one that we did with our In Color Club back in the summer. We used this bundle, and I used all of the in colors on their window sheet so they could all, we did this in the last month, so by the last month they had all 5 of their colors and they could choose to do multicolored or just the color that they got that month. But that's how it turns out on window sheets. So a little bit different look, but it will work on window sheets as well. And then I did this one here as well. I'm not so crazy about my stripes there, but it'll do. So that was another card that I used the vellum, or sorry, not vellum, but the blends and alcohol on window sheets as opposed to on the vellum. So it doesn't move quite as much the same as on there, but I was also a little bit more careful with, I probably should have just put more alcohol. So I'll have to try that again. Anyhow, that's how it works on window sheets. I saw that, Paulette. I'll add a package for you. All right, so again, I will just quickly recap these. Today is the one day of free shipping. So don't forget that that ends tonight if you guys want to get in on that. And then quick recap of the Polar Bears class. I won't give you guys all the details on these again right now, but you can always hop over to my page or the feed, and all of these were shared, I think, last night with the reduced pricing for the free shipping registration. So there's the Polar Bears class. That's next Wednesday. Next Thursday is Delivering Cheer. That is December 16th. This is just one of the cards we'll be making. And then Sparkle of the Season is this Friday. I can still send out kits for that. And it looks frozen. I hope it's not frozen for you guys. I'll wait just a second and see if it refreshes on my end here. Is it frozen for you guys? Or is it okay? All right, so I'll skip back there. The sparkle of the season is Friday. It looks like it's frozen. All good? Okay, thanks, Paulette. And then the time of giving, which is our stamp club this month, where we'll be making this card. Very similar. Well, the technique is the same. This is the technique that we're doing, but we're going to be making this fancy gift card holder card. And the other one that I showed you guys before. And then Bright Baubles is on the 21st. And Peaceful Cabin is on the 29th, so in between Christmas and New Year's. So we will make just winter themed cards. There's still many occasions throughout the winter that you don't necessarily need a Christmas greeting for, so that will be then. And if you want to get in on sponsoring a kit for Ronald McDonald House, I can actually still do that for you. I don't have that flyer handy, but actually, yes, I do. I have them just in my little stand here. No, I don't. So, Paper Pumpkin, if you want to sponsor a kit to donate to Ronald McDonald House, we will be delivering them next week when they come in. It's $33, and the whole kit will go to a family at Ronald McDonald House. So we will take them there with a card that says who it's from. Here we go. So this is here. It's the Lots of Pun kit. It looks really fun. So you can let me know tonight if you want me to add one of these on behalf of you to be donated to Ronald McDonald House. And also, just a recap of this one here, if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can purchase a bundle of these 3 Paper Pumpkin kits. So I can't remember what this one is called, but it's the Mountain Kit, the Batters Up Kit, and this one was called So Cool. It had the popsicles, the rainbows, and the watermelon. It's $36 for all 3. Oh, thank you, Paulette. I will add you to my list. So for $36, if you're a subscriber, you can purchase this bundle of all 3 of those kits. They're full kits. So if you need an easy Christmas gift, you can purchase these and split them up and give one person this kit, one person this kit, and one person this kit, or wrap them up for yourself. But I feel like I should get these for my nieces and nephews or somebody. It's just such a good deal. $12 a kit is what it breaks down to. And today you can get free shipping on it. So let me know if those interest you as well. All right. So that is everything. I'll have to turn these little bits into something. And if you guys use this technique, please come back and share it. Put it in the comments and let me know that you were inspired to go and make something. So I'll just quickly check if there's any other comments. And I think we're good. Thank you guys all for joining me. I appreciate you being here and watching with me while I did this for you guys. I hope that you're inspired. And I will try to be back Friday. I missed last week, so that is why I came on tonight. I didn't get a chance to go live last Friday and announce the draw. I actually didn't announce the winner of the bear card, so I will actually do that yet as well. But we had our virtual Stampin' retreat, so I didn't get a chance to come on live. We had a class at 6:30 last Friday before we had our full day on Saturday. So I'm here tonight for that, and I will try to come back on Friday as well. I just wanted to make sure and come and show you guys some of these things while it was free shipping day. So real quick before we go, this card here was what the draw was for from the last live. There were people that shared it. So the winner of this card is Lena. I don't think she's here, but she'll probably catch this later. So congratulations to Lena. You won this card, and I will put that in the mail for you. I have other stuff to send you too, so I'll throw that in your package for you. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you guys have a good night. And if you are ordering and you need some help at all, just let me know. Bye, everyone.